Hey, welcome to The Sinner and the Saint. I'm Melissa Bell.
And I'm Allison Kane.
Y'all are in for a treat today because we didn't see each other last week because I had the big C word. And so we're a little bit punchy today.
Yeah, which is perfect.
Exactly, because today is episode 100 called Ask Us Anything. And we got some really fun questions.
We did. Some kind of, easy, some kind of hard.
That's right. And you guys obviously are not as off the beaten path as I am, because I was expecting some other super off the wall questions, but you guys played it safe. Well done.
Not everybody carries a taser.
I know, which, by the way, you're welcome.
Yeah.
Everyone feels safer with me because I know I have a taser and probably a plan of sorts.
Yes, for sure.
Yeah, and I feel safe because my boys fight.
Mm-hmm.
And so,
professionally.
We're walking around like some...
She's got two professional bodyguards on each side of her,
And because I'm 5 feet tall, my 10-year-old is a perfect height.
Yeah.
My 16-year-old's a little big, but that's okay. You always need a big one and a little one.
That's right. That's right. They get distracted with the bigger one, and then the little one takes them down.
That's right.
That's right.
Yeah.
Well, I thought we'd start easy. We'll go down our list.
Yeah, well, first of all, thanks for letting us be here for 100 episodes.
Oh, wow. It's been such a fun journey.
Seriously, and we're excited about this season because, man, we have some fun stuff planned, like coming to hang out with you guys in person. But let's go down the list because you know what they are, and I don't know exactly.
I'll just pop them out there and keep it surprising.
I like it.
That's the way we like to roll. Okay, super easy. Were you born in North Carolina?
I was not born in North Carolina. I was born in St. Petersburg, Florida. And I lived in Pinellas County for 31 years.
Is that in Florida, that county?
Yeah. The reason I say county is because I moved 20 times
Gotcha.
in my childhood. I was counting up the place. Yeah, so 20 moves and all within the same county. But, yeah.
I mean, I've kind of moved that many times all in the same zip code.
Oh, right? I know. You've done well.
For different reasons, but...
Yeah, so tell them where you...
So I was not born in North Carolina. Actually, I was also born in Florida.
What? I never knew that.
On Eglin Air Force Base.
Oh, you're a Floridian?
I was for a year and a half.
That's why we get along so well.
Maybe.
And that's why we love the beach.
And I saw it for the very first time. Well, I didn't actually go to the base, but it's super big, I guess. And we went on spring break last year, and I saw a sign that said Eglin Air Force Base, which is the only time I've ever seen it in person. So I did grow up on the coast of North Carolina from as long as I can remember, from 2 on up, or 18 months and up. But I was born in Florida.
Ah, we have a special connection. I never knew that.
I know.
I'm going to learn more about you today. I'm excited.
There we go. So you just never know. All right, so this is funny. This isn't funny. Oh. But I'll do the funny one. What products does Allison use on her hair?
I did love that one. Because you said everybody wants to know about my hair. And I was like, probably not. And then the first question was, what does Allison use on her hair?
Well, I just get it so often. And the crazy part is, people always ask me, are those your natural curls? They are.
And they are beautiful, by the way.
Well, some days. My daughters are more beautiful, but she won't wear it curly. And I straightened my hair for years and years because you do have to learn how to do them, right? So I use 2 products.
Okay.
I struggle with shampoo and conditioner, just for the record. So I don't really know what to tell you there. Not Your Mama's curly stuff has kind of been my go-to lately, but it always switches up. But I use 2 things on my hair. One is the JessieCurl Fizz-Free Volumizing Foam. So I use that first.
While your hair is wet?
Yep, while my hair is wet. And then I put on this stuff called Spiralicious
styling
gel.
Yeah.
Just a little bit. It's from JessieCurl, and I've just get that on Amazon. You can get JessieCurl at 1,000 places probably. But I put both of those things on wet, and you have to use a tea towel. Mm-hmm. That's what I put my hair up in, and then you scrunch it, the product, with the damp tea towel. And then I do use a hairdryer to dry it. I cannot let mine air dry.
Do you use a diffuser?
I do use a diffuser.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. And then you have to finish it off with a little hairspray to keep the frizz down.
All right, friends, there you have it. Hey, if you try this, send us your curly hair pics.
Yes, for sure.
Super fun.
Maybe one day if we're really bored, which actually never happens.
Right.
We'll do a video.
I was so funny thinking, are we gonna be a hair tutorial now? Is that what you're doing?
We might have to. We'll see what y'all say about that.
Y'all need to help us because we don't know how to do any of that stuff.
So the next one is, I loved this question. Where do you come up with your content? Like, where does it come from?
Okay.
Our crazy brains.
Our crazy brains, for sure.
What we're living out
Yes.
in our lives a lot. Mm-hmm. I think also, we each meet with people, we have a groups of friends and we have individuals that we meet with. And I think we tend to see patterns
Yes.
in women's lives that we're meeting with. And so we talk about those things, the struggles that we see that people are having at this, whatever, this phase of life or the beginning of school or the end of school or holidays or whatever it is, the summer blahs, all those things. But honestly, we want to hear from y'all. We get input. When the input that we get from our audience also makes a big difference in our content. We would love to hear from you.
Absolutely. Yeah.
More and more and more.
We reach out a lot saying, hey, tell us where you want to meet. Tell us what you want to hear about. And we do love when we get responses. So
we do, because we want to tailor it to your needs as well.
That's right. Because it's about you, not us.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. All right. This is kind of a tricky one. We didn't prepare, so we're just winging it. Shocker. What would your younger self say to you now that they're disappointed you're no longer doing?
So what is something that I don't do anymore that my younger self would wish I was still doing, essentially?
Yes.
Honestly, dancing.
Oh.
I love to dance. Specifically, I love hip hop. So yeah, dancing. Tap, it's fine. Jazz, I like jazz. Lyrical, not my thing. Ballet, definitely not my thing. But some hip hop, yeah. How about you?
I think being on the water more. Mm-hmm. Growing up on the Neuse River and always being on a boat. I think that's why I love and crave time at the beach. And when you grow up on the water, you always have the sand, you always have the shells, you always have the water and the boat and the crabbing and the fishing. And the swimming, you take that for granted.
Oh, 100%.
It's just what you know. So
I also think the adventurous spirit, right? Like as we get older, we just kind of lose our sense of adventure, or we just fill our time with things that have to be done.
Yeah.
So there's not as much live in the moment and go on a whim kind of thing.
Yeah, and when you're 2 hours away from the water, or the water I like, and it's just hard.
Yes, girl.
Some things become more challenging.
So growing up in Florida, I'm not a lake girl or a river girl. I want the beach.
Yeah.
But I prefer the Gulf Coast, if anybody's wondering.
Okay.
Yes, because Atlantic, roaring like waves that want to steal your babies.
Right.
Gulf Coast, just chill,
I'm going to have to do that. I want to do the Gulf Coast.
You did when you went to Destin.
Oh, yeah. Well, I think I'm like Alabama, Mississippi, down in there. I've never done that.
Let's do it.
Okay, great.
Sorry, guys. We're going to have to take a trip. It is for work.
Yeah.
To see if you like the Gulf Coast, because our listeners want us to report back.
I love that. I like the way you think. Yeah. How is your skin so pretty?
Oh, they're not asking me.
So I have recently gotten this question several times.
Okay.
And it kind of gave me pause, because I'm like, really? You know how we're the last to see anything good about ourselves.
Right.
I'm still critiquing the wrinkles that show up all the time. And gravity is not working for me.
Not our friend.
No. The longer I'm on the planet, the less I like gravity.
Dadgummit.
Except for the fact that it keeps me in my chair and on the ground. But I have found this incredible local woman in Raleigh. Her name is Julie, and she has created her own products. It's called Beauty Ethics.
Ooh.
And this is the only thing I can think of. So all of her products, I've been using them for 6 to 8 months now. And I have gradually, I didn't throw like everything out, but I have gradually switched over as to all of her things from everything I was using as I've run out. And everything is non-pore clogging. And very moisturizing. I have really dry skin. And sometimes I think, like, I would use night cream for my day cream.
Right.
But I don't have to do that
I'm
with
with
her
you with
products.
that.
I mean, she has some incredible things. She has this 7-seed oil. And here's what's interesting. I've gotten my mom hooked on this. She's 80. So she is also using Julie's products. And she went into her esthetician the other day. And they had taken pictures of her, like, 8 months ago or something when she went in for a facial or whatever. And they looked at her skin and they said, "What have you been doing differently? Your skin looks amazing."
Oh my gosh. So we need to share the link. So make sure you put that in the notes that we share the link for Julie's products.
So it's not just me. It's my mom who's
and
80.
And the esthetician.
And that, right. But so her, I mean, we've both gotten these compliments. And so that is the only thing that I can attribute it to.
Well, and the other thing I'll ask you is there's a certain product you use during the summer that gives you such a nice bronzing glow. Do you remember what that is?
Oh, I love a good self-tanner.
Yes.
Because you got to stay out of the sun when you get older. The Saint Tropez is spelled
Tropez.
Yes. It's a great gradual self-tanner. But I will say Julie from Beauty Ethics, I use her facial self-tanner.
Okay.
On my face and mix it with my moisturizing cream because it's non-pore clogging, and a lot of that stuff I can't ever put on my face because it makes me break out.
So what I hear is like Melissa's going to be tan in the winter because I'm going to go see Miss Julie.
There you go.
I like it.
There you go.
Yeah.
She's good stuff, man. Anyway, and we're not getting any kickbacks from her. She didn't even know I'm getting ready to answer that question. So
yeah, and I also want to tell you guys, you think you know somebody, then you sit next to them at a microphone and they're telling you all their little dirty secrets about why their skin's so pretty and that they're actually from Florida. So I'm not sure how much longer this relationship's going to be intact.
Oh, I love it. Well, let's go deeper. This question is, when you aren't recording the podcast, what are you doing?
Oh my gosh.
When people ask me what I do, I always say, I look at them like with a painful look on my face.
Like you don't want to know.
And it's like, that is kind of a trick question.
Yes.
Well,
for me, it has so many answers.
That's why it's a trick question.
Right.
I can't even tell you in one answer. Like, there's no, quick answer to that.
Yes. So I am homeschooling my children. I have 4 children. 2 of them are still at the house. I'm also the executive director of Knowing God Ministries, so I'm doing a lot of stuff with that and trying to not burn the kitchen down with dinner and taking kids to all the things, all the sports. Both of my kids are competitive athletes, and so...
And no drivers in the house yet.
No drivers in the house yet. Whew, we need to fix that.
So she's carpool momming.
Yeah.
That's, I remember that age and stage, and it feels as if you are just a taxi service.
I know, but you know what? I guess because I keep a lot of, believe it or not, even though my life is crazy, I do keep a lot of margin in for that. Mm-hmm. Like, that is part of my crazy. Like, It's not, I have a really busy day, let me fit in the kids' carpool. It's like, I have kids' carpool, let me fit in the busy. Yeah. And so I do cherish, we listen to podcasts in the car. It's a really good time. In the car is a good time to connect with your teenagers, especially if you give them food.
Yes. Always.
Like, after this, my 10-year-old is with daddy today. I'm going to go and pick my 16-year-old up and go take him to lunch or something.
They are special times. I know that when mine were getting when they have to drive with you all the hours when they have their permit.
Yes, that's what we're doing right now.
It is you miss it so much when they turn 16 because there's so much bonding time in the car because they're driving and they're thinking and they're talking, but you're not staring at them. And so they just share so much more, and it's just this intentional time. So,
what about you? Well, you're just...
Oh,
I'm like, you just do everything.
I have a few irons in the fire. I participate. I help, organize a high school boys thing for our junior boys. I do this. I do some things at Hope Community Church, some Lectio Divina, some speaking there. I've just recently joined a speaker team.
Yes, we are on a speaker team. We're excited to do that together. Again, together.
That's right. We love doing things together.
But also, what about that exciting thing you just started? Your exciting endeavor.
I have just been accepted into an amazing group that's local that gets together once a month to practice corporate Lectio Divina and scripture meditation, and it's very intentional, and I am just loving it and soaking it in.
Yeah.
I mean, and then parenting and college kids and lunch and dinners and all the other things. I mean, we all have 1,000 things, but it is hard.
Yeah.
It's like, well, I have a lot of jobs, but I just store up treasure in heaven. I don't really get any paychecks.
Right. Yeah, somebody said, do you have sponsors for your podcast? I'm like, yeah, they're called our husbands.
Yeah.
Thank you, husbands. We love you.
Thank you. We love you. We're always open to some.
Yeah.
I love this. What is bringing you joy in your life right now? Uh-oh. Here it comes. Drum roll.
So, I did my first tequila shot in a long time on Saturday night.
Really?
Yeah.
I can't do tequila.
Well, I had never really done a tequila shot before. But
I did enough for all of us a long time ago in college.
I did lots of other shots, right? But so I had to shut up or put up, which was the episode from a couple weeks ago. I'm in this group. I'm not going to tell you what group it is. I'm in this group, and my husband and I are the newbies, if you will. And my husband went to an event the previous weekend with this group, and I couldn't go because I had COVID. And so now I appear to be maybe I appear to be this way. Maybe that's just where I feel like people see me, as the snooty Christian whatever that can't come hang out with us, right? Because she's too busy. But really, I did have COVID. And so no one asks, like, hey, who's doing a shot? They're like, this is just tradition. And they bring all these shots out. And I was like, I have served a bazillion of these in my lifetime, and I'm going to take it for the first time.
Go, girl.
Girl, I did it. I didn't even, it was good. And there was a woman that was next to me that was 75 that was chugging it. So I'm like, well, she can do it, I can do it.
I have a little gag reflex and want to throw up.
I didn't. I was afraid of that.
I mean, I haven't had one since like 1996.
Yeah, I was afraid of that. But anyways, I haven't had one since Saturday.
A shot. I didn't say I hadn't had any alcohol.
But
just shots.
Bringing me joy is just doing things like this and watching my kids carve their own path.
Yes, I would agree with that. I think that's what's bringing me joy, is seeing my children grow into the people that they are. I mean, they are becoming adults. I mean, they are adults, and just seeing what God is doing in them. And I just, keep praying that whatever obstacles they face, that He uses it to drive them closer to Him in their lives. And then it also brings me joy that my husband and I have, many more nights available for date nights and time together to do things and to dream. And it's not that I'm ready to stop being a mom, because you're never not a mom, or get everybody out of the house, but it's just this new stage that we're in. And it's different. And it also comes with a little bit of sadness as well. I think every joy does, because, it's just change does that.
That's so true. Our 10-year-old finally moved up to the bedroom upstairs at 10, and so we don't have him on the bottom floor with us. He was in a bedroom downstairs, or like a office / bedroom / homeschool room, whatever. So we moved him upstairs, and all of a sudden my husband and I can like sit on the couch and watch TV by ourselves or watch the football game. And I had that very awkward balance of like, this is so great to be with you, but oh my gosh, this is a new phase and I don't like it.
Right.
I mean, I do like it. Anyway.
I know. Well, it's like, it also brings me joy to know that I'm coming out on the other side of an incredibly difficult, challenging, what felt like drowning grief journey. And that brings me joy. And somebody's like, that brings you joy? Like,
yeah,
that's so weird. And it's like, yes, it was really incredibly hard, but it brings me joy to know that with God I overcame. And so I think sometimes that's a trick question too.
Yes. Yes, I do love that the joy, which is so different than like happiness. To me, happiness is bubbling over and like skipping and but joy is almost, for me, it is a contentment and an overcoming feeling, like you said. And it is always so good to come through something and realize that you're not alone. And when you walk through something that hard with God, man, your faith is strong.
It's so true. It's so true. And I think my time with him is bringing me the most joy too, through Lectio Divina and that sort of thing. That's probably my most joyful, moments, is just that learning to have that close relationship. All right. We got to zip through a few quick ones here at the end to get them all in.
Oh, we can hang out for a little longer.
What's your morning routine like?
My morning routine?
Yeah, that's the question. What's your morning routine?
I pop out of bed. And I throw on some clothes and I go walking 3 miles, 4 miles, sometimes depending on whatever the weather is. Then I'll come in and have some coffee and some Jesus time. Then I'll do a little workout with some weights. And by then I have been infiltrated by children. And so then we sit down and start the schoolwork and my mornings. And just because I do try to juggle so many things, it has to be kind of rigorous as time.
So exercise and Jesus and coffee.
Yes.
Yeah. That's kind of mine. I mean, I get up, I sleep as long as I can.
Oh, I don't.
I do.
I'd still be in bed
I'm
right
all
now.
about sleep. I sleep as long as I can until I have to get up. I mean, until I I don't set my alarm special early is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I get up so that I have just enough time to have a little bit of my protein bar, a little bit of hot tea. I don't do coffee. I go through my emails. I go through a quick scan of the news, and then that's all off my plate. With a clear mind, I sit down with the Lord, and then I'm off to exercise.
That is so crazy. I cannot do email or news before my Jesus time.
See, I have to know that all my that's my weird brain, like my type A. Like I have to. It's like everything in my house needs to be straight so I can sit down and relax. And so, it's not like I have 20, and some things I might have to handle later, but I have to kind of know what's in my grasp for the day so that my brain and my heart can be settled into the Lord.
That is so funny. I'm like, come on, Jesus, come settle my heart, because there's something waiting for me.
And I don't really actually read the news. I just scan through to make sure there's not something that I actually need to know.
Right. Like a tornado or a hurricane coming, shall I say.
Okay, so favorite way to exercise. If you got to pick one thing, what would it be?
Favorite way to exercise?
I'm thinking this would be like walking, weights, whatever.
Probably cross training.
Okay.
Like, hardcore, I want to hurt when it's over.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Mine's definitely Pilates.
Oh, Pilates is painful.
I love Pilates.
You guys are all thin and cute, but man, I don't know if I'd meet you in an alley.
I like that it's stretching and toning and strengthening all in one.
It gets all those little pieces, like little ligaments and things that you don't work out when
that you don't even know are part of your body until you work them out and they hurt
the next
day.
It hurts so bad. Mm-hmm. Yeah. But so good. It hurts so good.
All right, best advice. Like if you could just give like one bit of advice, what would you be? Or what would you say? What would you be?
Just make a decision. It doesn't have to be forever.
Oh, I love that. You're so good. And I get this from my friend Amelia. She always says, never say never, which, you've always heard that, but she gives you the follow-up to that, which I have embraced. You just say, I will never do that today. So you can say never, as long as you follow up with, I will never do that today.
Interesting.
Because if you say never, you will.
Oh, I have done so many nevers in my life. That word is not even, we don't even use that in a spelling word in homeschool.
Right.
Just take that one out.
Just take it out.
We're going to put ain't in the dictionary and take that word out.
Perfect.
Yeah.
I like the way you think, as always. All right, 2 more. These are so good, y'all. Thanks so much for sending them in.
I know.
If you could run away to any place in the world, where would it be?
Well, I have a couple options because I've never been to Italy or Ireland. They both sound amazing. I think Ireland are more my people.
Okay.
Because something told me that Italy's a little dirty, but I don't know if that's true.
Well, if I was going to pick one place that I would go, I would return to Italy. I loved Italy.
Well, do you want to go to Italy after we go to the Gulf Coast?
Great.
All right, husbands, we're also going to have to go to Italy because we need to know if it's dirty for Melissa standards. And so
we're going to need you to up your sponsorships.
And we're...
Oh my gosh. But so if that's overseas, but where would it be like if it was like stateside?
Okay, anywhere with a beach.
Oh, I love that. Yeah.
Yep. How about you?
Yeah, water. I mean, I love Bald Head.
Yeah.
But honestly, I do prefer the sound marsh side over the ocean side. So that's why I think I might like the Gulf Coast as well.
You would love the Gulf Coast.
Yes.
But there's lots of places we should look at just to make sure you get the full effect of the Gulf Coast.
I agree. Because there's a large coastline over there to explore.
Yep.
All right, last one. What do people assume about you that just isn't true?
Whew.
Let me count the ways.
I know. I'm going to let you go first because I don't.
Dumb blonde.
Someone thinks you're a dumb blonde?
Oh, I just remember speaking at this church. This was many years ago, probably like 8 or 9. And I spoke on a Sunday morning at a church. And, I stood with the pastor at the doors as everyone exited to talk to them. And one of the men shook my hand. He was like, well, I have to say, I actually really enjoyed that. Like, he was so shocked that it was actually like something substantial.
Right.
And I think sometimes, people just look at the outside, just like a crazy blonde-haired whatever girl, and she must not have anything to say. But that was just that. So I think people, if they come to my house, I always have to have everything in order all the time.
Yes, you have a beautiful home, and you decorate it wonderfully, and it's very cozy, and you are very beautiful also, and you're very calm-spirited.
Well, thank you. But I think that people often think that because my house is clean that I think yours should be clean. And that's not the case at all. Your house can look the way, and I will gladly come in it and sit down on your floor, even if there's Cheerios on the floor. It's just that I can't function in that in my personal space, but your space wouldn't bother me at all.
Right.
If there were roaches crawling all over the floor.
We're not going to eat your meatloaf, but...
I mean, that would make me uncomfortable because I hate bugs, but that's not about you.
Right?
And I think people just think, they probably look at many of us and think, oh, she's just so perfect and put together all the time. Well, that's
Jesus girl.
Yeah, it's just not true.
Right.
My life is messy and hard and sad and challenging and all the things, just like everybody else.
Yeah. And people will say, well, then why don't you, portray that? Don't be fake. We're not being fake.
I'm not being fake.
We're just celebrating the good
Read
stuff.
my blog. Ain't no fake about it.
Oh, snap. She went there.
Put it all out there. I'm not gonna, if you ask me, I'll certainly tell you.
Yeah, I just think that sometimes we get a rap like, oh, well, you're just pretending, or you're just, you only put the good stuff out there. It's like, no. If you pay attention to everything, you'll see the bad stuff too.
Absolutely. But there is a joy in and through the Lord that lives in us, and that is a real thing.
Yeah.
And that is not fake. And if you see that, that is what you see. All Him.
I think, so somebody said to me one time, I just thought you were just a mom with kids in a minivan, whatever. Like that was that's who, there's more to me than that. But when you see me, you're just like, oh, she's just a mom with, you don't realize that I've kind of been to hell and back a couple times.
Right.
And reason being, like, look how far I've come. Right. But if you wanted to, I'm not shy to share the things, but there's always more, like you said, under the surface.
I think when we, accept those things, it gives us more empathy as people, as women. It also helps us to realize everyone has a story. Everyone has a background, and we're all a conglomeration of all those things that have happened to us. Not that they define us.
Right.
But it makes us up, It makes us who we are, and hopefully we learn from it and become stronger from it and move forward, especially with Jesus.
And you and I together see a lot of little things that, crop up from my childhood and, little mannerisms that I have because of my survivor mode.
Yeah, and me too, just in a different way.
Exactly. So, Well, we hope you've enjoyed getting to know us. We want to know you more. So we are, drum roll please. I'll do the drum roll.
Okay, good.
I also wanted to be a drummer at one point.
I would have done that too.
Yeah, we're hanging out with you guys on October the 5th.
Yeah.
We're doing new series, new event, right?
Mm-hmm.
We just want to see everybody in person. We get so many DMs and we have so many people reach out to us, and we cannot go to 17 coffee breaks in a day. So we said, hey, let's just hang out. All of us together. We'll come together. No agenda. Come as you are is what it is called. You're going to see more on our social media for upcoming dates. Mark the calendar because our first date is October the 5th, and it's going to be an evening event. It's called Come As You Are. I think we're going to announce the location at the end of the week.
Yay, I'm excited to see everybody. We hope to see you there.
All right.
Thanks for joining us this week on The Center in the Sun.